What's more important to you, artwork or story? Well, here's what Todd McFarlane thinks.
What is more important in the comic, art or story? Here's my complete and utter bias, and I'm going to my grave with this answer. I can sell a book that is drawn by Michelangelo and written by my dog. I can sell that book. But what I can't do is sell a book that is written by William Shakespeare and drawn by my mom.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Guy Wozniak, and with me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Matt.
Hey.
And we are the Comic Book Guys, and we're here to talk about artwork versus storytelling and what's more important. And as you just saw, according to our one of our favorite artists, Todd McFarlane, it's really all about the artwork. Now, far be it for me or Matt to tell Todd McFarlane what's right and what's wrong.
Or even how to pronounce his own name.
He's been making comic books, drawing comic books, publishing comic books for almost as long as I've been alive. So clearly he knows what's what. But we kind of have some opinions that we thought we would share on this subject. First and foremost, what is more important to you, Matt? Art or story?
Well, I will say that if you had if I had to make a decision between the two, I would say story. Story is more important to me than artwork.
Yeah.
But of course, in a perfect world, story and artwork are simpatico, and they're both excellent.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love when story and artwork are just two things that just work beautifully together? That's perfect. But yes, for me, story is more important. Definitely.
When I saw that clip of Todd talking about this, and I chuckled, he made the analogy of he could sell a book written by his dog as long as the artwork was good. I chuckled. That's not untrue. I myself have been subject to it's a pretty cover and I'll buy it no matter what's on the inside. I mean, of course it works. We get it. But here's what I want to say to that point. Yes, you can definitely sell a comic book with good artwork. But can you sell issue number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, issue 7, issue 8? What about issue number 100? What about issue number 200? And the first name that came to mind when I started thinking about this was Chris Claremont wrote X-Men for hundreds and hundreds of issues with different artists every time. And very often the artists were also great.
Yes.
But what kept readers coming back month in and month out?
Stories. The stories.
Absolutely.
And I would agree with Todd to a point that, yes, fantastic artwork by itself can sell a comic. I mean, Marvel has come out, and DC, I don't know, I'm more of a Marvel guy. I think everybody knows this by now.
Yeah. Marvel
has come out with a swimsuit issue. There's no dialogue in that. It's just really beautiful artwork.
Right.
And that sells like crazy. And who doesn't love beautiful artwork? But in itself, that's not going to continue to sell books.
They only do that once in a while. If they were doing that month in and month out, it would get stale.
Yeah, and and maybe Todd was speaking more to like his skills as a salesman. Maybe that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, but he could physically sell something.
He's a good salesman. I would agree with that too, because he's been coming out with some fantastic stuff in his toy and statue lines.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about some other names here where, yes, generally speaking, the artwork was also good, but it was all about the stories, right?
Yes.
The classics. Let's talk about, Alan Moore's Watchmen, V for Vendetta, The Killing Joke, The Saga of Swamp Thing.
Yes.
Why are all of these particular Alan Moore titles considered all-time great, award-winning, the whole shebang?
Well, I got to say, V for Vendetta.
In my opinion, hot take, the artwork in that book is real bad.
When I first read it, I was a teenager. I didn't like the artwork at all. Not at all. I couldn't stand the artwork. It was the story that kept me reading it. The story is fantastic, and that's why I kept reading it. It's not until I got a little older and like, hey, you know what? I don't mind this artwork. And now I love it. I think it really matches the tone of the story.
I mean, it's not for me. It's the reason why I've picked up.
Everybody has their own tastes. That's fine.
The reason I've picked up and set that book back down without finishing it twice now is because the artwork doesn't keep me doesn't keep me. So from my perspective, I think the artwork was bad, but I know it's a great story. I've seen the movie. The movie follows the story fairly well.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that it's widely regarded as a great work of art, and I know it's by Alan Moore, and I've read other stuff he's done that's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, Neil Gaiman. And let's forget about whether or not you like him as a human being or not, and let's just talk about The Sandman. I mean, award-winning, all-time great story. Was the artwork in it good as well? Yes, but in all of these cases, I don't think any of it was like overwhelmingly great artwork.
Yeah.
But it was overwhelmingly great writing and story. So while I agree with Todd McFarlane that you most certainly can sell a comic book based solely on the artwork, can you sell comic book after comic book after comic book based solely on the artwork? I'm not so sure if that's true.
Well, you know what? I think a great litmus test for this would be Skinbreaker. I mean, we reviewed Skinbreaker, the first couple of issues. I've read the 3rd issue that came out, and I haven't picked up the 4th yet.
I have it on the table out there if you want to look at it.
Okay, yeah.
Just got here.
I'll give it a read. You know why I'm continuing to look at that book? Because the artwork is fantastic. David Finch's artwork is amazing in that book. It's beautiful. I mean, he's really at his A game.
Let me ask you this, though.
But the story is so boring.
Is part of the reason why you're still interested in looking at it out of morbid curiosity of whether or not the story is going to get good?
Yes. I just want to see, is something going to happen?
Because that's why I'm still getting it.
I keep picking it up for the artwork. And I'm willing to hang on to see if something does happen in this book. Again, I'm not going to keep picking past issue 6. If still nothing really much is happening, I'm done.
I just found out it's going to be an 8-issue miniseries, and then it's over.
That's it?
Initially, I thought it was listed as an ongoing
series.
Right. That's not the case. I guess issue 8 is going to be the end. So I'm going to get all 8 issues, and I'm going to see if anything does happen. But I'm only continuing out of that morbid curiosity.
That's even more baffling, because I thought this was going to be some kind of long-running series that's just a slow burn, but apparently it's just going to be a slow series altogether.
And there's not a lot of time left for something to happen, is there? I mean, we're already 4 issues deep, and so far. But yeah, I don't know. Any other examples, either in support of the idea that, like, the artwork sold the book, or any other ideas on the, idea that, like, maybe Todd's a little bit off base, and the reason why we have so many great comics is because of the stories.
I'll give you another example. John Byrne is my absolute favorite artist. I love John Byrne.
Yep,
I actually own an original John Byrne sketch of Dr. Doom. I got a full figure from him several years ago. And it was expensive for me at the time. But, inflation and everything. I paid $750 for a full figure sketch of Dr. Doom on 11x17 paper from John Byrne. I got super lucky.
That would be a lot more today, I'm guessing.
I imagine, yes, it would be considerably more, because he hasn't opened his commission list for a very, very, very long time. So there's no telling what his prices would be now. But yeah, if he does open it up ever again, I occasionally would reach out to his agency, just shoot him an email, and he says, "Oh, nope, still not open." But I appreciate the interest, which he seems like a real nice guy. But yeah, John Byrne, I have everything John Byrne ever published at Marvel that he was the artist on. I am a huge John Byrne fan, and he came out with a series called The Next Men.
I kind of remember that. I don't think I ever picked it up, but I recall that coming out.
It's awful.
Is it?
It's awful. It is such a boring read.
Is that by Marvel, or who published that? Do you remember?
I don't even remember. It's not Marvel. It's terrible. I would not recommend that. But again, I'm a huge John Byrne fan, but it's a terrible series. But hey, if you enjoy it, okay.
Sure.
Everyone has their own taste. Not for me. I would not recommend anyone pick up Next Men.
But you bought it because of the art, is what you're saying.
No, I never bought it.
Oh, you didn't buy it?
I looked at it, thumbed through it, like, the story looks kind of dumb. And every time it would be out on the table at the comic shop, I would pick up the next issue, I'd look through it, and like, no, this is not for me. I don't like the story. I don't like the characters. Not for me at all.
Here's some examples I just thought of.
You know what? We're going to get all kinds of Next Men defenders in the comments.
I hope so.
Like, you're wrong. Your opinion is wrong.
Break out the pitchforks and the torches and come storming at this guy right here.
Yeah.
Something that did just occur to me, though, where art does certainly, or in the past at least, I don't think it's so popular anymore, but back in my day, back in the mid to late 90s, you know what sold like hotcakes was all the bad girl comic books, whether we're talking about the Witchblades, the Lady Deaths, She,
with the sexy covers,
Vampirella.
Yeah.
I just picked up Witchblade again just for the heck of it, just to see because you know what? Truth be told, I bought a bunch of those. I never read them back then. I was just purely buying them because of the sexy covers. So I was like, I'm going to read this.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, I am a dude. What can I say? So I was like, I'm going to finally get around to reading these. And Michael Turner, I believe he was the artist on that stuff.
Yes.
Great art. I mean, that art sold.
He passed away, didn't he?
I'm not positive.
Yeah, I think he did.
That's a shame if that's true. But,
yeah, rest in peace, man.
But yeah, he did that. He did that Fathom book about the underwater girl.
Yes, he did pass away. That was because I think he was working on that at the time.
Was he?
I remember hearing about that. I'm like, oh, that's too bad.
Moral of the story, though, I pick up Witchblade. I read through the first issue or two, maybe. Awful story. I mean, just terrible. I struggled to get through 2 issues, and I was like, I'm done with this. And again, if you like it, do you. I'm not saying you're wrong for liking it. I'm saying I didn't.
Yeah.
But for sure, that artwork sold those books. I mean, you put like a good-looking gal on the cover of a book and, hormone-driven young men look at it, they're going to buy it. So
that's why J. Scott Campbell's covers do well.
Oh, I mean, all the way back to Gen 13, he was just selling the holy heck out of comic books based entirely off of his covers.
Yes.
So Todd's not wrong that, obviously the artwork can and will sell comics. But where is Witchblade today? Where is She today? Where is Lady Death today? Where is Cry for Dawn, which I love? Where are all of these bad girl comics today? I mean, they get rebooted from time to time. There's a current ongoing series for Vampirella, which the interior story has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in the covers. It is crazy, not
That's
what I was expecting.
That's a common problem these days.
But yeah, point being that yes, all of those bad girl comics sold like hotcakes, but nobody cares about them anymore.
Are they ever number one on a sales chart?
I mean,
no,
they're never number one regarded on the stories. If there's a ranking for stories, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So yes, Todd's right, and in my opinion, he's also wrong when we're talking about what's great. What do we look back on throughout the course of history? Yeah. It wasn't in most of these cases. And can you give me a case of a comic that's this was an all-time great comic and it was entirely because of the artwork? I can't think of any.
No.
No,
so maybe Todd was being a little, he's being a little humorous, which I would lean towards that. He was probably joking around, and obviously he was exaggerating. A dog is not going to write a comic. We all know that.
Yeah. Well, you got a dog. Maybe we could make some money here. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can't draw though. Can you draw?
I can draw things.
Things.
Whether they look good or not, or even what they're supposed to look like, probably not.
Yeah.
And I guess my dog, I could just, she could make some urine-soaked paw prints on some paper, I guess.
That's like a script.
Sure. Better than some of the scripts we're getting out of Hollywood these days, anyway.
True story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's more or less everything I really wanted to talk about. It's not a super deep subject or anything. I just thought it was an interesting take. And this is from an old interview that a couple of years old. It's not it's a new hot take or anything, but I just happened to see it and I was like, we should talk about that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Is art more important than story? Is story more important than art? What makes you keep coming back, issue after issue?
Yeah.
Those are the things that I think about when I think about this topic. And for me, it's really almost entirely the story. I'll tolerate below average art, but I won't tolerate a below average story for very long.
Yes. But like I said, I've been keeping up with Skinbreaker, but just because the artwork is beautiful. But yeah, I'm going to dip out after a while. And I had no idea they were doing 8 issues. You mean, you talk about writing for the trade?
No, yeah, that's literally
super obvious what they're doing in this case. Super obvious.
100%.
Yeah.
But all right, I guess that's all we got on this one. Let's wrap this one up and say, as always, thanks for tuning in and watching. Hopefully you guys could do us a favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons because we could use the support. We're getting kind of close to 10,000. We're over 8,500 subscribers right now.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
But when we hit 10,000, we're doing a giveaway. I've mentioned it 100 times, so I'm not going to dwell on it now. But, Wolverine 1 through 4 miniseries, someone's going to win those when we hit 10,000. So click the like and subscribe buttons. And as I always say, thanks for tuning in and watching. Keep collecting comics. And until the next one, bye now.
Bye.